There are literally tens of thousands of parents that are struggling with kids. I mean, it's a pachad. Where 30 years ago there was like none, pretty much. Now we have like tens of thousands of wonderful Yireim Shleimim, beautiful, wonderful parents, raising, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. Everybody's good, 1 or 2, sometimes 3. And the kids want to die, and they're cutting themselves, and they're suicidal, and they're getting tattoos, and it's crazy. It's a Meshuggah Welt. It's a crazy world. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and younger and younger and younger and younger, and it's just unbelievable. Like, what is happening to Klal Yisrael? What is happening to this crazy world? It's mamash pachad, and people are just so fundamentally confused when it hits the parents. The first thing you want to do is, you see your kid driving off a cliff, you got to stop them. Stop. No, I'm not letting you go. I was just on the phone with parents. They said last year, their daughter, who was already in public school, 14 years old, in public school, she wanted to go to school Rosh Hashanah, and they stopped her. They didn't let her. You're not going to Shul Rosh Hashanah. We are not letting you. And now they look back at it and they realize, like, nobody ever became from that. This was not in New York. So they didn't get the message yet that public schools are closed.
Teachers aren't all absent.
You're right. This was out. But what's happening here is that we have to realize that communism doesn't work. There is no part of Klal Yisrael, of Chinuch, that has anything to do with power and control. So once and I'm not talking about regular Chinuch, where you tell your kid to take a bath and you do normal stuff. Once you're in a war with a child, and you're using power and control, if you will not do this, you can't be in the house, pulling the plug out, throwing kids out, that's communism. I don't know what that is. It's not chinuch, and it's not Klal Yisrael, and it doesn't work. So nobody decided. I asked her, did you think when you told her you cannot, no credit card, no car, no ride, we're not letting you out of the house on Rosh Hashanah? Did you think that that will cause her to at all become closer to Hashem? I mean, and that's what you have to look at that. It's not about stopping somebody. You made her worse. She sinned more because of that. She felt a tremendous hatred to Rosh Hashanah, a hatred to her parents, a hatred to Torah, a hatred to Hashem. More Averis happen. Push it like that. Once you look at it, and you separate, from, because it's so painful, but you separate and you say, okay, I got a big problem. My kid is driving that way. He's driving east. How am I going to get my kid to turn around and drive west? Now you're talking like a mensch. And everything that you do has to be for the goal that doing this is going to make the kid turn around and want to be frum. Because if they don't want to be frum, it doesn't matter if you lock them in the room, and it doesn't matter if you don't give them money, and it doesn't matter if you, whatever you're coming up with, besides that you're making the problem worse, but you're certainly not making it better. Because there's one piece of a child that you cannot control. Assuming you can lock the child up physically, I heard of a parent, physically they tied the kid to a bed. I'm sure he's not a Rosh Hashiva now. Okay? But we do that with money. I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to give you love. I'm not going to smile at you. I'm not going to buy you your clothing. Right? Once we're in a war, I'm not supplying bad. Okay? There's one piece that you can't control. So you could have this girl who is now fully tsanua, because you're not buying her, for that stage, the 2 days that it works, We had parents that told me she only bought her daughter a stick of clothing, but when her daughter went out, she just lifted her skirt under her shirt higher and higher and higher until it was a mini skirt. What are you going to do? Tie down her arms from doing that? There was another parent that didn't buy their daughter not a stick of clothing. So what did this girl do? Very simple. She started wearing her younger sister's dresses, skirts, and shirts, and then it became short. You're going to win this battle. There's one part of your child that you can't control with force. Ratzain. The inner will to want to be frum. And that's the Nesiv Shalom that I always say. Chinuch amiti, real chinuch, is not to pressure the child to do the right thing. It's to bring him lahavi yisai kedei sheyirtze bazeh. If you get your kid to do something good, and that causes him to not want it, not only you didn't do chinuch, you actually now got your child's rutzin going the wrong way. And that's going to build up until they're strong enough and they're broken. It's all about what's going on inside the rutzin. What are you doing? I'm talking about the next kids, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They come to daven and you say, sit like a pet, like a dog, and they actually daven. But inside their rutzin is, one day I'm not going to daven. Can't wait to get out of here. You're actually building their rutzin to go off the derech. Or to stay on the derech and just not daven. Reb Chaim Kanievsky says that there are many tzaddikim that they love davening so much that because of that love and because they're mamash tzaddikim, that they pressure their little kids to daven before the kid is mature enough to want to daven. Right? So the kid's going, and doing that breaks the rutzin of the child, so they don't want to daven. And instead of that kid learning whenever he would be mature enough to want to do it, at 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 30, whenever it was going to be that he would have wanted to do it, instead he's never going to do it. You broke his rutzin, you burned him. You burned his will and desire to ever want to daven. And that's even if you get him to daven. So the only piece that we cannot have power and control over is the rutzin of the child, and that's your only job, is lahavi yosei kadesh yitzeh b'zeh.